Hello. I thought I would come and share the trouble with waiting to be seen. So as you'll know, if you've seen any videos that I've done here before, I'm a visibility specialist. And if you don't know, let me tell you what that is and why it's important. I specialise purely in your work being visible. It's the reason that I'm nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen. Because what I recognise is that sometimes in various areas of our lives and businesses, especially when we need to put ourselves out there, putting yourselves out there could be making a video, doing a Facebook Live. It could be running an online course. At the moment, it could even be attending a Zoom call. It could be hosting a Zoom call. It could be emailing out to your list. What I do is I help the piece underneath it, to stand out so that you can show up in a way that you want to. And what I also know from my own past experiences, but also those of the thousands of clients that I've now worked with over the last decade, is that when you have to put your work out there, it's precious to you, it's like your baby. And it brings up a whole new level of problems. You feel judged. Now, who could you be judged by? You surrounded yourself with the people, around you who love you, who like your work, who love what you do. Yet you surround yourself with these people, yet you're worried about being judged. It could be by ex-colleagues, co-workers, as my American friends say. So it could be ex-colleagues, present colleagues, friends who don't get what you do, members of your family who don't quite understand what it is that you put out there in the world. And then it could be you were worried about being judged by your children. Oh, mum, dad, you're too embarrassing. Why are you doing that? It could be that you're worried about being judged by people within or outside of your community. I know that as a black woman here in the UK, sometimes we can worry about what our other counterparts might say, black or white. So we might worry about, gosh, what are they saying about the state of my hair? We can worry about being judged about what we say or how we say it. And this is the biggest piece that people come to me about. Essentially, they want to know, how can I say this? What can I say? So visibility in this day and age is really, really important. Hi, Ian. Good morning to you. Ian is so good that he sent me some information twice. Twice as nice, Ian. We're going to start calling you twice as nice, Ian. Thank you for saying hello and joining. But here's the thing of why visibility for you is important. And it's taken me a while to actually say this in this way, because next week I'm hosting a 3-day live event. Of some of you who are watching now are going to be coming along, which I'm so excited about. But here's why I'm hosting the event. Since the beginning of this current pandemic, we've been told we need to pivot our businesses. Now, I get that many of you are experts. Many of you already know how to work online. But when you're told that you need to pivot and put yourself out there, then new challenges come up. How do you reach your clients when everybody else is pivoting? How do you stay on top of the game? Anyone that follows me or anything that I do across social media will know that I love stationery. I absolutely love stationery. And it was with great sadness that I read a couple of weeks ago that KIKIK, whilst still being able to operate in other companies, have withdrawn their provision in the UK. As a stationery lover, and as fellow stationery lovers too, because I know many of you are, that's always sad. But for me personally, as a person with a relatively small business, there's me, the sole director, and the other people that I get to work with and freelance out to and consult with and things like that. But it's always sad when you see a brand, especially a big brand that you love, close down. So how do you stop that from happening as part of being a small business where you're responsible for the sales, for the marketing, for the accounting, for the promotions, for the public speaking, for the client getting, for the visibility boosting. And this is why I'm so passionate about visibility. So somebody said to me a few days ago, and this really struck a chord with me, and I so hope that they come along next week, because they said the online world seems so vast. Now, I could sugarcoat this and tell you, oh no, it's not vast at all, but it is. There are more people now putting themselves out there and promoting their products and services, but it doesn't have to be difficult for you. You know, I'm the queen of having the difficult conversations. So Ian's saying, have you been bugging my house? That's how Melissa talks to me. That's his daughter. Or, oh, so good he did it twice. No, I haven't been bugging your house. You'll be pleased to know and relieved to know. So here's the thing. When the people that I speak to quite a lot, you have to know this. They're really savvy in what they do. They're confident in their business. They know what they're doing. Let me throw a statistic at you. I often, when I speak at like corporate conferences and more corporate circles, will share these statistics. But I think it's really important to know this. There are 10% of people in a workplace, or in your case in a business, in your business, who are really great at what you do. You know everything about what you do. Everything about what you do, no stone unturned. But even being in that 10%, you will never get the promotion, the kudos, the recognition that you would expect from being a subject matter expert. And there's a reason for it, because you're in the 10%. Then let's take the next percentage block, which is 27%. There are 27% of you who are not only great at what you do, know your subject inside out, can flip it upside down, back to front, inside out, and answer it all day long, have it be your specialist subject on Mastermind, the UK programme. But here's the problem. As well as that, you're also well-liked, well-revered, you know, you've got a great reputation, you don't rock any boats, yet still, if you're in that 10% or that 27%, you still won't get the promotion or the recognition. Now, I know this not just as a stat, but I know this to be true, because in my own life, this whole visibility stuff started from when I quadrupled my salary within a space of 2 years, under 2 years, in a sector that I shouldn't have been able to do that with kind of like tools in my bag that I shouldn't have been able to do that with. That's when I saw it firsthand. But if I'm honest, I thought it was a fluke, like beginner's luck or whatever you want to call it. I thought it was a fluke. So I ignored it for many years until I started my business, started helping people just like you to be able to show up and stand out and feel quite confident in doing that. And then all of a sudden, I started to have people say to me, hold on a second, how did you do that? How did you do that? You know, I didn't think it was important. So I had to take the time all those years ago to go back and look at, well, what are the key significant steps for people to do this? And why does it not happen to the 10%? Why does it not happen to that bottom 10%, that bottom 27%? And what I found out to be true was that if you are in the 63% of people, which, you know, for those of you that want to hit the billions and millions in your business, that's slightly bigger than a 1 or a 5%, you know, so you've got a fighting chance of this. But if you want to be in the 63% of people who are visible, you will get the recognition, you will get the promotions, you will get the pay rises, you will get the price that you ask for, you will get recommended, you will get invited, you will get, you know, passed over to other people as highly esteemed. And do you know what's sad about that 63% statistic? Even if you are in that 63%, so you're highly visible, highly seen, you show up, you put yourself out there, you don't even have to be good at what you do. And this is the thing that irks me, if I'm honest. You know, there are many people out there with massive audiences, with, you know, massive platforms who do good in the world. However, they are not as good as you in what you do. And because they're in that 63% already, they're the ones that are getting the visibility, they're the ones that are getting the promotion, they're the ones that are getting the great stuff happening, yet they're not necessarily great at what they do, and they might not necessarily have a great reputation, but they're out there. And they're out there killing it right now, even in a pandemic, even though there's been a lockdown globally, you know, even though some people are saying, but I don't have the money or I don't have the time, they are still absolutely killing it. So the reason that I've put on this event is to help people like me and people like you who are great at what you do to make being visible really easy. Because for far too long, putting yourself out there has been deemed as being difficult. You can do the online course, you can make the online sales, and even though online might seem vast, you can claim your space of the online world. Because at the moment, online is where your people are going to discover you. You might already be satisfied with the clients you've got, with the audience you've got, but there are people that need you, specifically you, what you do and how you do it. So let me help you to stop it from being vast and confusing. Do whatever it takes in your diary. Next week, make the space for Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Show up with an absolutely amazing group of people. Show up, let me show you how to make visibility easy. On day one alone, I'm going to show you how to do some quick visibility boosts that will get you seen literally the moment that you do it. And I'm also going to give you the space to workshop it out and to implement it. And that's all just on day one. Day two, I'm going to help you add the impact and credibility that gets you into that 63%, that has more people know about you and what you do, so that you're recommended, you're not passed over, you're promoted. And even with a small or low list, you'll still be able to achieve some of the pinch me moment things. You know, from doing this stuff, I know it works. I know it works because my clients tell me. I know it works because I've experienced being able to speak at some really like high branded names. I've been able to work with some people who, like, we signed non-disclosure agreements. I can't tell you who they are, but they're very well known. I've been able to help you and people like you to be able to be visible, even if you don't think that you are as articulate, even if you don't think your message is magical, which is one thing we're going to cover on day two as well. So, you know, roll your sleeves up, be prepared to listen, to learn, be prepared to be in community with, other people that are completely amazing, that do different things, but most importantly, are service-based businesses that want to make a difference in the world. And day three, once we've pulled that all together, because this is going to be like a building block, I'm going to show you how to do visibility that sells, how to sell your services even if somebody can't see them. So I really want you to join me for this. You know, I was thinking of doing this later on in the year, but given the last few months, I've seen another company, another brand, another business biting the dust. I decided I can't wait. Even with my lockdown hair and patchy hair, and I'll tell you all about that next week, I've decided to make it easy for you to do this over 3 days. Now, this is stuff that I would normally take a private client through. I'm going to take you all the way through the system, the same system that got me the quadrupled salary over 2 years, the same system that has got clients doing their TED Talks, the same system that has got people being able to work with big brands, the same system that has got me in the last few months, the same month as a lockdown, the same month as a pandemic, being able to still be on BBC Radio and still be nominated for awards and win awards with, very big organisations and travel organisations, and also has enabled me over the years to be able to work cross-industry, from financial services to the event space, to consultancy space, to marketing gurus, to the online business space, to travel and tourism, and to take my work corporately where I've wanted to. So I want to be able to share like all of that with you, and I can't do it on a quick 10-minute, 20-minute Facebook Live. I can't even do it on a quick 60-minute call, which have been flying through the door. So join me and some juicy others next week. I will put a link to the page just underneath this. And for those of you that have already seen the page and have already bought your ticket, go back and have a look. I literally changed it this morning because I thought, you know what, a couple of days left. You've only got to the end of this week to book and be able to put your work out there, be able to show up in a way where you don't feel judged, you feel comfortable, you feel natural, and you feel authentic in doing it. So I am so excited, and I'm just having a look at the comments now before I go. By the way, if you're watching now and you've got any questions about being visible or putting yourself out there or anything, ask them now, because I'm going to go in a minute to preserve your time. I'm going to go and sit in the sun and finish off the workbooks for next week. So yes, Ian's saying that his daughter, the bit was, you're so embarrassing. Ian, doesn't it make you want to embarrass them even more? Get your own back. I mean, I don't have kids, but you know, that's what I'd be like with my nephew when he goes, oh my gosh, you're so embarrassing, Aunt Jane. I'm like, I just do it even more. Ian is on board and looking forward to it. Thank you, Ian. You're looking forward to stretching your comfort zone and having fun. We will have a ton of fun. You will be pleasantly surprised in how we're going to stretch the comfort zone. I think the biggest realisation for most people is how easy this is. And rather than sending you all away with pages and pages full of notes and, you know, the workbook filled up nicely, I'm actually going to help you to implement it as we go through. There are some things, of course, you're going to need to go off and do by yourself, but that's what we're going to do. And if you've already booked your ticket, and if you book your ticket by the end of this week, I'll actually give you access to all of the sessions, all of the recordings of the sessions for another week after it's finished. So you can go back, you can listen back to any questions you've asked, and listen to the answers. You can go back and pick up the pieces that you wanted to implement, but maybe you wanted to do something else first. So it's really juicy. I'm really excited. And more than anything, I feel very privileged and very blessed to be able to do this work, because the truth of the matter is, I myself have been visible in places that I shouldn't have been visible in. I've sat in boardrooms with some of the most brilliant minds in all sorts of industries. I've worked behind the scenes with people who are well known and have got some amazing accolades. But the reason why I'm really great at helping you to be visible is simply because I've been visible in places that I shouldn't have been visible in. On paper, nobody would have guessed it. And that's my zone of genius. And I want to bring that to you, kind of live and unleashed, all laid bare next week. So if you're watching this video, even if you're watching it on the replay and you want to share it, please click the share button. You can either share it publicly, you can share it privately, so send it to somebody as a message and say, hey, you going to this? And by the way, if you're watching this and you have already booked your ticket and you've got friends that you know definitely want to come, send me a message to this page, and whatever ticket price you paid, they'll get the same ticket price. That's my gift to you for inviting your friends along. We've already had a couple of attendees who have invited other people along too. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for sharing this. And I literally can't wait until next week. I'm so looking forward to be able to roll my sleeves up, dive in with you. This is not going to be a 300-person event. This is going to be a smaller, intimate event where I actually get my eyes on what you're doing, my eyes to help you to be more visible, to help you to sell your services, and you go away with a personalised plan. So even though you've implemented some of the stuff within the day, you'll be able to take that forward. So if you or someone else you know, maybe they're on furlough and they're twiddling their thumbs and they want to see what's involved in being more visible, then get them to come along, get them to share this link, have a look at the page. Like I say, I've changed it up a little bit this morning for you, and you'll see the reason why you being visible, your voice being heard, you being seen is so important to me, especially now, especially with what we're going through. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.